August is here, so we're gonna start Delulu Girl Fall, which means it's not actually the fall season yet. It's still in the 90-degree range outside, but we're gonna act delusional and pretend like it's fall and decorate on the inside. This is a compilation of my fall decorating videos and my home tour from last year. I've got a DIY for my entryway table. I hope you guys get some inspiration from this until I get my videos out for this year. Let me know when you're gonna start decorating for fall and what kind of color scheme you're gonna use. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back soon with some brand new fall decorating.
The autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. Open up the window, I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow and the late summer sky.
Welcome back. Today we're doing one of my favorite videos of the year, and we're decorating for fall. We're gonna focus on the living room, entryway, and master bedroom today. I did paint the entryway table. I was over the white and I painted it black. It's the same exact paint that I used on our headboard. I'm really excited to share that with you guys because I love how it came out. Now let's jump into my favorite part, which is the decorating. We're starting off by having Ethan putting these two pieces of wall art on this shelf above the TV. I didn't want to get my step stool out, so I called him to help me. I have the picture that I used to have above the stove, and then my new butterfly picture with all of the pretty fall colors. I thought about putting my copper picture up here from Kirkland's, but I ended up wanting to save that for above the stove because of the copper tea kettle that I just bought. And now on the bookshelves next to the TV, you guys know I like to keep it balanced, so I try to make them like sisters and not twins and have similar elements on both sides, whether that's similar textures, colors, heights, just to make it feel balanced but still have different things on each side and add visual interest.
It's like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September.
I'm changing out my books on this shelf to mostly my thrifted vintage books that I picked up from a used bookstore for super cheap, and I love how they look for fall. They add such a cozy touch and match my decor so well, and then I'm adding a few of my actual books that I need to read here, and I just think it looks so nice and matches so well with everything in this space.
Since I was a little child, every year for as long as I remember, all the leaves were running wild, going all the way until November. Turn the world around us.
Now we're moving on to the couch, and I'm doing something very similar to what I did last year, but I'm adding in a couple of brown pillows to really make it a little bit more moody and cozier than last year. I'm also going for a more cozy look as opposed to a put together look. So instead of putting the blankets on here really nice and neat, I'm kind of making them look like they were just thrown there and maybe they were being used before they were thrown onto the couch. If you guys have ever seen the couches in the YouTube videos, when you look up fall ambiance and it has like those cozy couches with all the pillows and blankets, that's exactly what I want to go for in this look. And it was really inspired just by me kind of throwing the stuff on the couch when I was starting to decorate, and I just liked how the blankets looked, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep them like this. This looks super cozy, which is what the fall season is all about in my opinion. If you go back to my fall videos from last year, you'll see that I'm using the exact same pillows and blankets, but I'm adding in these Studio McGee pillows that are brown with the cream or tan colored flowers and the very small amount of orange throughout, which match perfectly with the orange and also add that touch of warm earthy brown. Then I changed my gallery wall, which again I used my prints from last year, which is totally fine. Using your things that you've been using throughout the years is perfectly okay, and then just build on what you already have if you love the items that you've purchased before. As I've previously stated, I'm trying to buy things that I know I'm gonna want to use for years ahead, so I don't have to keep repurchasing a bunch of stuff every year, and I've noticed that I'm purchasing less and less every year because of this. For my coffee table, I'm going to add florals because I love my flowers, and then my cute Studio McGee candles and some coffee table books with a candle and a pumpkin.
Into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there.
Here's the final look for the living room. Now, I didn't use a ton of pumpkins in here. There are pumpkins sprinkled throughout, but I'm trying to bring in fall more with colors that I'm using in kind of everyday decor. Somebody was telling me that they were having trouble with decorating for fall without using a ton of pumpkins, and my advice is really just to use things that you would normally use, but get them in browns and oranges and burgundy colors, or whatever colors you use for fall. That way you're bringing in those colors and tying it all together without only using pumpkins. As you can see, I did that with my pillows, my blankets, my books, my flowers, and my art prints, and it really ties the whole look together.
For fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low. Dancing through the last days of September. I wonder where they're going, the flight of swallows sailing through the sky. There's no way of knowing, but maybe someplace far.
Before I start painting the entryway table, I'm giving it a good wipe down. I'm not sanding it since I'm using chalk paint. However, I wish I would have sanded the parts from before when I painted it white that were not quite even. I didn't do that and I kind of regret it. Closing one of the drawers is hard. I had to sand it down, which you'll see later. And then when I was painting, it was kind of hard for the first coat to go on, but after that first coat, it went on a lot better. I've had this entryway table for about a year and a half now. It came in a grayish color, but it was too gray for my decor, so I painted it white, and now I'm just over the white, so I wanted to paint it black. I had the leftover paint from before. I used it on our headboard, and now I'm using it on this, and I just thought it would look so pretty with the gold poles, and I cannot wait for you guys to see the finished product. I am in love with it, and I'm so happy I decided to do it. I said I would never paint this table again because it was so difficult the first time. It wasn't as bad this time. You just have to be patient when you're painting furniture, which is really hard for me. I just want it to be done, so I don't stop to take breaks really, but then I don't want to do it anymore. So it's kind of a vicious cycle, but I got it done and I'm so happy I did it. It looks so good with the fall decor on it as well because the black just matches really well with all of the stuff that I put on there.
From you and I, when the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile upon my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face.
All right, here's how we're looking with the entryway table. I did 3 coats on pretty much the whole thing except for the bottom of the legs and the drawers. I did 2 coats on those and it turned out fine. I used the paintbrush to get in the grooves there and for the legs, the bottom of the legs, so I think it covered it a little bit more. It is dry, but it needs to cure for 24 hours, so I can't put anything on it until tomorrow because I finished putting paint on it late last night. But it's curing and I have no patience, so this is really hard for me. I'm not a professional, so it's not perfect. As you can see, that's from the first time I painted it, like a year and a half ago. So we're not going to talk about that unevenness. And I can't tell like what's uneven from this time and from last time. I like to think I got better, but I don't know, maybe it's also the quality of the paint. Who knows? But I don't think anyone's going to be inspecting my entryway table super close, so I think it'll work. And then I have the poles here, which I rub and buff. And this one is the drawer, from the drawer that we don't really use often. This one is the one that we used a lot, so it's coming off. And I want to touch them up so they really pop against the black. However, I cannot for the life of me find my rub and buff, so I have to wait for new rub and buff to come in a few days or 5 days, depending on how long it takes, which makes me sad because I really want to get this together, but we'll wait because none of the stores near me sell rub and buff. Also, just proof that this place isn't always clean. Look at all of this because this is what happens every time I change seasons or holidays, and it drives me crazy until I'm done. But it's a hot mess up in here right now. Anyways, we're gonna move this into the entryway to let it finish curing and get it out of the way. And I'll see you guys when it's cured and I can decorate it.
Puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September, dancing through the last days of September.
After I ordered more rub and buff, I found my rub and buff in a vase that I was storing. So now I have 2 things of rub and buff, which is fine. I guess I'll use it eventually. Anyways, I am adding my new hearth and hand vase to my entryway table, as well as the new marble candle tray and my new candle. I'm using my old hearth and hand floral picks to put in the vase. They're still gorgeous and they go with my fall decor still. So I'm using them from maybe 3 years ago and adding some of my new Studio McGee art and the candle snuffer. And then I've had these pumpkins for a couple of years now, maybe a few years. They are from Target as well. The last space I'm decorating for today's video is our master bedroom. I changed out our duvet cover from the cream and tan striped one to this beautiful pumpkin brown color. It actually probably goes really well with those hearth and hand pieces that are pumpkin brown, but I would say that's an accurate description of this color because it's not exactly brown, but it's not exactly orange, and I thought it was perfect for fall and matches really well with my old Studio McGee pillows. They are from, I think, 3 years ago, and I still adore them. I used them in the room last year, but I had just our tan quilt on here. But I think the orange brown really pops in here and just really gives you that fall feeling, and it makes you feel really cozy and you want to snuggle up, drink some apple cider, and watch a spooky movie. If you look closely at those green Studio McGee pillows, they have that brown orange color and then also this dark brown color and the tan color on the plaid pillow. So it really pulls everything together. And then of course I had to add pumpkins onto the bed. I've had these pumpkin pillows also for a few years now, and I end up moving them to the other side of the bed. Over on this dresser, I'm putting some fall florals and my Lord of the Rings book set, which are perfect fall colors. These are from like the 1970s. I found them at a used bookstore. And then on my bedside table, I'm just putting a box that I'm using to put my jewelry in and a leaves candle from Bath & Body Works. Welcome back. Today we're decorating my dining room and kitchen for fall. I hope you guys are as excited for today's video as I am. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm starting in the dining room by putting up my fall wall art. This is from Etsy. I think I got it 3 years ago now, and I just keep reusing it every year. It still matches my decor. It's still beautiful, and why spend more money if this is still doing its job and I still enjoy it? Now when I get tired of it or I don't like it anymore, I'll definitely replace it. But for now, I still am loving it. I'm giving the table a good wipe down so it's clean for the decor to go on top. And I'm keeping this tablescape a lot more simple than I've been doing. I'm not putting any placemats down or any plates. It's going to be really nice when we just want to sit down and eat dinner. If you're wondering if my hair is different, yes it is. I actually just went and tried to get cherry cola hair. There it is, which is when you make it look like cherry cola. So I added in some violet in with my normal red with violet undertones to kind of get a cherry cola color. You can see it a lot better in the sun, and right now I'm inside, but I'll show you a picture here. But back to the decor, I'm putting a floral arrangement in the middle with my hearth and hand stems, and then I'm putting a small pumpkin and some coasters to keep the table safe. On the shelf in the dining room, I'm adding one of my hearth and hand pictures from this new line, these gorgeous bowls that I just got. And I decided to return the bowls that I got from Michael's that I shared in my haul in the last video. And I did get this picture. It looked a lot better than the bowls up here. So I got this and returned those bowls. And then I'm adding another small pumpkin as well. I think I really tied in the colors from all of the other spaces in here. I have the the greens, which we have in our bedroom, the black colors from the living room, bedroom, and entryway, the pumpkin browns, the cream colors, and I just put it all in this space so everything kind of flows together throughout all of the rooms. Now that I've wiped down everything on this side of the kitchen, I'm going to go ahead and start decorating. This is the copper fall market sign that I originally wanted to put in the living room with the butterfly wall art. But then I thought it would be so gorgeous with this tea kettle because it has the copper details, and I just adore having these together in this same spot. I think they go perfectly together. They complement each other so well, and they add some fall kind of orange color in here without being super bright orange. It's a nice copper color. So I just think it's a nice touch, and I'm so glad that I bought that tea kettle. I thought maybe I shouldn't, but it was definitely a good choice. Now in this corner, I'm adding these cookbooks back and then some of my new art, a little arrangement with dollar spot stems from a few years ago, multiple years ago. They were only $3 each, and I feel like the stems used to be a lot better in the dollar spot, and they're not as good anymore. Same with the pumpkins. The dollar spot pumpkins this year are not as good as they used to be. I do feel like this little corner needs something orange, so I might change out this pumpkin if I can find something. I just feel like it needs a touch of orange to tie in with the picture and the tea kettle. Then I'm gonna add my fall mugs. I want to collect more, but for now this is what I have, so I'm working with what I've got. As you can see, I'm running out of my fall spray, which is actually really exciting because now I get to go purchase more and I'm going to get a different scent. Probably going to go back to the apple cider scent. Anyways, I'm changing up the coffee station, which I have not done in a very long time. I'm adding this tray here. Trays are great just to have a bunch of stuff in one place but make it look put together. So I'm putting the tray. I'm going to use my pumpkin spice coffee tin from Michael's years ago, and then my pumpkin canisters. I'm adding a Hearth in Hand fall picture from last year, and then you guys, I've said it on here before, but for the people who are new, this amber glass bottle is a Starbucks coffee bottle that I got from the store, and I was like, this is really cute. It'd be really nice for fall decor. I cleaned it out and now I use it to put floral arrangements in for fall. You would never know. The florals are from Joann's years ago, and then I'm just going to add in my fall K-cups and my sugar. I have my apple cider hand soap and dish soap that I saved from last year. You have to let me know, do you use all of your seasonal hand and dish soap until it's gone? Or when it's time for a new season, you store that away and bring it back out the next year? I do the same thing with my candles. I put them away if I haven't used them all, and I bring them out the next season, and then I don't have to buy it again when the season comes around. Starting off in the entryway, here's how it looks without the lights on and just this candle burning. It has some nice cozy vibes going on here. And then with the light on, there's how it looks. I found this pumpkin spice latte purse at TJ Maxx for 20 bucks. It was the last one and I had to have it. So I'm definitely going to be using it this season. And when I'm not, it's going to be here for a piece of decor. And then I still have my hearth and hand wreath. I have another one, but I can't find it at the moment. I also can't find my garland, so it might be buried somewhere. But we've also got some real life stuff, just Tilly's leash and harness and collar hanging there for easy access. Functional, mixed in with the aesthetic. And then I have not changed anything over here. We've got the woven pumpkins down there from Target. They have similar ones this year again. The new additions from Hearth and Hand and Studio McGee. Also Hearth and Hand Studio McGee all right here. This whole entryway table is pretty much styled on the top part by Hearth and Hand and Studio McGee. And then my usual mirror. We've got that pretty candle snuffer with the scalloped details. And I'm still loving having this table black. I do not regret painting it at all. I do need to touch up some spots that I didn't think would show and have white, and that's from sanding, but then like down here there's like white in there. And also this picture has taken off some of the paint, and I put that back there to keep it straight. That is the entryway. This candle smells amazing. I would burn this year round. I need to stock up on this because it is probably one of my favorites besides Pompous from Hearth and Hand. This picture I adore. It is so pretty, has so many fall colors, and can go with so many different decor styles. And then this is from spring, but it fits in with my fall decor, so here it is. I love items that can be used for multiple seasons and when there's no holidays or really seasonal decorating going on, because it helps you save money. You can use it multiple times throughout the year and then add in your little seasonal touches. Now we're coming into the living room, and as if by design, it is raining out. Extra cozy vibes. I'm gonna try to keep the lights off so you can get that cozy fall feeling from my living room. We've got the pumpkin spice latte candle going. I've got the wall sconces on for that nice ambiance, and then of course the rain and the thunder. I've still got all of the same pillows out, my new Studio McGee floral pillows that have that pretty orange color on there to match the orange in the rest of our home. My Kirkland's Hello Pumpkin pillow, as well as the Kirkland's pillow itself. These are all Target pillows from the past. And then Hearth and Hand, Threshold. Over here, I've added a new addition. This is from Home Goods, $12.99. The ones at Kirkland's that look very similar, $40 when they're not on sale. So I was very excited to find this because I really wanted that Kirkland's pillow. They still have the same blanket, the pillows. All of my pillows, except for a couple, are Target. They just come out with really nice fall pillows, and I can't help myself. The coffee table is the same. We've got the florals in the kind of burnt orange burgundy right here, and then the orange thistle, Hobby Lobby and Michael's, my Anthropologie Minka pot, and then my Target candles with the candle holders. We've got some coffee table books right here. I love the color of Call It Home. It is perfect for fall. We've got a marble pumpkin, a black book, and I think the coffee table is balanced out pretty nicely. It's got some pretty decor without being too busy. Overall, I'm really pleased with how the living room turned out. I think that it feels very cozy and welcoming, and like you just want to sip some pumpkin coffee and watch a movie. And I have some traditional colors in there, but they're a little more muted and darker, the oranges and burgundy, and then I mixed it with brown. I think the brown being added this year adds a lot of visual interest. It makes it feel cozier and it makes it feel warmer in here. So I'm really happy with the brown additions. Up above the couch, I still have my horse and dog picture from Kirkland's. I love this so much, and I'm gonna keep it up as long as possible because it's just so cute. I'm thinking about getting like a dry erase marker and drawing a Santa hat on the dog for Christmas, so we'll see. Over on this little side table, I have a couple of coasters and my Hobby Lobby pumpkin. Very simple right here, but still very cute and very fall. I almost forgot to show you guys a close-up of the gallery wall. So I used the same prints as last year. We've got the cowboys and the cows by this river with all of the beautiful fall colors, and they match really well with the colors I have in my decor. And then we've got the deer again by a body of water with more of those burgundy colors. And then nothing changed over here. I kept all of that the same. Over on this side, I changed this print out for some fall florals, and then the definition of autumn right here. And then everything else is the same as I had before. And then we've got this side of the living room with the TV stand and the bookshelves. It's the same as when I originally decorated it. We've got some family photos, and then my Studio McGee picture from, I think that's from last year, springtime. We've got pumpkins, a little hidden pumpkin in here with the florals, and then my grandfather's vintage record right there. It matches nicely with the fall decor. If you guys ever wonder what this is, it is a laser. Tilly is a cat and likes to chase lasers. Right, Tilly? Up above, I've still got the butterfly and landscape art. And then more family photos over here. I will change these out for Halloween with pictures of us in our Halloween costumes. I like this little trio right here. I think they look so nice together. I wish I would have gotten more of these pumpkins. I found them on clearance last year and didn't buy them. Kind of regretting it. I think these spring Studio McGee boxes go so nicely with my fall decor. And then my really old secondhand books here mixed with some of my newer books. I decided to turn this one around to show the dragon art on the pages, and just my storage basket down there. Over here, I didn't film this, but I just have my blanket basket and I added a pillow and a soft pumpkin. The stem is not soft, so that's why I wanted to get this one, because that is a jute stem and not the hard plastic one. I just got this actually right before I filmed in here. This broom, it's not a cinnamon broom. It is a pumpkin spice broom. We got it at Publix and it's a little bit less intense than the cinnamon one. So if you want one but not as intense as the cinnamon broom, definitely recommend if you have a Publix near you. I don't know if anyone else is selling these. Now we're moving into the dining room. Everything in here has stayed exactly the same. We've got the Hearth and Hand pitcher and bowls and picture right here. And then an old threshold pumpkin and my Kirkland's wall art. Over here is the same art that I had before. And of course you can't see it because of all of the lights glaring on it. You should be able to see it in the B-roll. Then the same plant. So this looks a lot like the Hearth and Hand plant from last year, but I used my own stems and my own pot that I already had, and then coasters and a pumpkin. This table runner is old. I've had it for years and I wish I could find one I liked more than this one, but I'm gonna keep using it until I find one. This one is starting to wear down. It's gonna be time to replace it soon, but I haven't found one that I like better. Now it's time to move into the kitchen, keeping the cozy vibes going. I just turned on this over the stove light and my lamp over on the other side. And again, nothing's changed in here. I still love this combination of the copper wall art with the copper on this tea kettle from the new Hearth and Hand line. Some fall colored hand towels. And then over here, oh, there is something new. I forgot to add these in my Decorate With Me. I already had them from previous years, so that is one addition to the kitchen. It's a very subtle and easy touch to add into your kitchen that screams fall. And just little subtle changes like that really help you set the tone for the new season without spending too much money. And then again, all Target stuff. Hearth and Hand, Studio McGee, Hearth and Hand. This was the dollar spot years ago. Hearth and Hand. I love this little setup right here so much. Sorry for my shadow, it's because of the light behind me, but we've got some fall mugs over here. I'm still on the hunt for some more fall mugs. I'm thinking of getting an orange pumpkin mug just like this from Michael's. I have $10 in rewards and it's $5. So I think I might buy an orange one and maybe add it right there. If I do, I will be sure to insert it here so you can see what it looks like. My dishwasher is going in the background, but I did end up getting more fall mugs. So I picked up the orange pumpkin one from Michael's. That one was $4.99 on sale and I had a $5 reward, so I didn't pay anything for that. And then I got two from Joann's. This one says the Burr months are finally here. That one was $3.20 because they're on sale for $4, and then I had a 20% off coupon. And then the same price for this one. It says fall is my second favorite F word, which I just thought was really funny. So that mug will give me a good laugh whenever I use it. And I just love the fall colors over here now. I'm so happy with the fall mugs that I found. And now I feel like I'm good with fall mugs. I don't need any more. It fills this perfectly. I love the browns and like the tans and oranges and creams, and I think it looks really nice with my decor, and they're functional as usual. So I'm really excited, and I realize you probably already saw these in the B-roll, but I had to share them up close and talk to you about them and let you know where I got them. As always, I will have them linked in the description box. And then over here, this is almost turning into a haul now, but I got this from Joann's for $12 because again, it was on sale for $15 and then I had 20% off, and that looks kind of silver, but it's like a brownish gold, like bronze color in real life. Let me see. I don't know if that made it any better, but it's like a bronze color and then like a burnt orange color for the pumpkin, and it's just a pie dish, and I thought that was so cute for $12. It's even cheaper than Home Goods, and so are the mugs. But yeah, we've got another towel and then the serve board conversions and just a nice little setup for my coffee mugs. This sign over here I got at Michael's 2 years ago. They also had an apple cider one that I didn't get. I kind of wish I had, but pumpkin spice has my heart, so it's okay that I have this one and not the other one. I haven't actually tried the recipe, but I plan to eventually. This is just food. However, I'll share with you my pumpkin spice Pepperidge Farm bread. Haven't tried it yet, but I'm really excited. And you know what would be really good is if you get like pumpkin butter from, I think Trader Joe's has some, but I haven't been there yet this year because it's far. But it would probably be so good on this bread. Or cinnamon butter would be good too. Moving over to my coffee station. I'm loving this new setup I have over here. There's one of my old Ray Dunn mugs. It's definitely not sweater weather here in Florida yet, but I am waiting, hoping, wishing that it will come soon. And I've just got my pumpkin spice coffee canister from Michael's a couple of years ago. And then we've got the fall blend in here, which is a little too strong for me. If you don't like strong coffee, I don't recommend that one, just because I can't taste the pumpkin spice latte creamer in it. The breakfast blend though is a lighter coffee and I really like it. They're also fall colors, so that is a perk. Hearth and hand picture back there, and then my little floral arrangement. I decided to take out my pumpkin pie spice, and I kind of want to get a pretty container for it so I can keep it out and it'll look nice. But for now, that's fine. I'm just going to keep it there, and it's festive even in this container. But I'm so loving this little setup, and I think I'm going to maybe do something similar for the rest of the seasons. We'll see if I can figure it out for Halloween and Christmas. And don't mind my dishes in the sink. Now it's really raining. I wish you could hear it because it makes it so cozy. But right here on this side, I've got my Mrs. Meyer's apple cider hand soap and dish soap, and then this pumpkin brown colored dish rag, which is from the Hearth and Hand line last year. They have similar ones this year, which I will link for you. And this dish drying rack goes so nicely with the fall decor. Also, I picked up the apple cider spray because you guys know I was running out of the other one that I had, and I don't like as much as this one. The fall leaves scent smells really good, and I smelled it when I went to the store, but this one still holds my heart, and I just want the one I love, so I picked it up again. Up on the kitchen counter, I've got some fall cookies. They are just chocolate chip cookies with the pumpkin cookies on top. And then over here, we've got the little vignette with the pumpkin, picture of Tilly, and my Kirkland's lamp. The new hearth and hand lamp probably would have looked so cute here, but I don't really need another lamp. And I still love this one, but that like brown hearth and hand one is so pretty. And then of course we've got the portrait of Tilly right here under our nice little saying right there. Future Jess again. I took another one of my little pumpkin canisters out and put this pumpkin spice trail mix in there. It's got cute little pumpkins in there and a bunch of other stuff, but I thought that'd be perfect to get. You could definitely put 2 in there. I only got 1, but I left it out so I can snack on it when I want to, and then that's a pumpkin cupcake in there. I also got this apple cinnamon pecan trail mix, so I will switch it out with the pumpkin spice one when I'm done with it, if I don't decide to try it and eat it first. Last but definitely not least is our master bedroom. So the one change that I made in here is that I took the large pillows away from the back of the green pillows. So now it's just the shams and then the 3 20 by 20 pillows. I think it looks a little more fall and cozy without the extra cream color, and also kind of more thrown together cozy as opposed to really put together cozy, kind of like what I did in the living room. And I just wanted it to look like the stuff was kind of put back in its place after someone had been using it. I like that it's more warmer, darker colors, and it's a lot easier to make with a little bit less pillows. The bedside table still has my leaves candle, which I'm almost out of. I might need to buy another one. It smells so good. And then still using that for my jewelry box, my glasses, some books down there. Like I said before, this duvet cover is called brown, but as you can see, it's definitely like a pumpkin brown or an orange brown, not a true brown like this is. But this is exactly the color I wanted, and I plan on using it through Halloween. And then I think I might buy a different color for Christmas because this is super affordable. It's around $20 depending on the day that you buy it. Over here, the stuff on this dresser has stayed the same. I have my scalloped tray right here from Ross that was $8.99. I do have a similar one from Walmart linked that is also very affordable. It's just not as large, but it's much more affordable than the Amazon ones. And then my Walmart planter, my Hobby Lobby hydrangeas, and I have my vintage Lord of the Rings books and a green pumpkin to tie in the green in the rest of the room, and then just a bowl of Ethan's things. I like this because it's very functional. I have a remote and our controller here, but it also looks very pretty. I didn't show this in the decorating video. I actually didn't put this out until after, but I put my old hearth and hand vase right here, the shorter one. I have the taller one in the living room, and then these stems, which I believe are from Joann's years ago. I have 3 in here, and they're just a nice neutral fall color. They match really well with the plaid pillow on the bed. And then on that side, I just have the air purifier. That's it for this room and this home tour. If you enjoyed it and you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and watching one of these videos that just popped up for you. And Tilly would really appreciate it if you give this video a like. We'll see you guys in the next one.